Hello, everybody. My name is Tiara White, and this is my speech on the Romantic music background. The Romantic movement was an artistic and intellectual movement that originated in the second half of the 18th century in Europe and grew in reaction to the Industrial Revolution. It was embodied most strongly in the visual arts, music, literature, and education. It was in turn influenced by developments in natural history. The classical period often used short, even, fragmentary material, while the Romantic period tended to make greater use of longer, more fully defined, and more emotionally suggestive themes. Fashion served as a transition period between the former Empire style and the new Romantic style. During this period, the waistline slowly descended back to its normal position as skirts gradually increased in fullness. Skirts of the 1820s were typically spiked or cut in an A shape with the narrowest part of the skirt near the waist, slowly increasing in width as the skirt progressed to the hem. Bodices were typically attached directly to the skirts via a waistband. Wide matching belts with decorative buckles were common accessories. The second part of my speech is the music background. The Romantic period of music is from 1830 to 1900. The Romantic period was a time where composers, artists, and authors moved away from the formal restraint of the classical period. In literature, authors like Byron Scott and Wordsworth led in the way. In the musical world, composers such as Weber, Schubert, Schumann, Chopin, Liszt, and Wagner were heavyweights of Romantic period music. Also, Beethoven is often seen as the link composer between the classical and the Romantic periods. His death in 1827 precedes the start of the Romantic period, but much of his later music displays many of the features of the Romantic period. Key features of the Romantic period, which you should listen out for when you're listening to their music, is there is an emotional expression. This became more important than formal structure, as composers rebelled against the formal restraint of the classical period. Big expansion in size of orchestra and in types of instruments. New structures/forms. Increasingly elaborate harmonic progressions. Longer melodies than classical period. Bigger range of dynamics. Larger range in pitch. And nationalism in music. Two different songs that I chose to talk about are, the first one was Fantasy Dance from Alban Blatter, and it was by Robert Schumann, played by Thennius von Schultz. I couldn't really find much information on this video. I just chose it because I enjoyed listening to the piano being played. This particular video didn't have all the orchestra involved, so it gives you time to listen to the keys being played and feel the highs and lows in the music. The artist playing is exceptionally good at letting his fingers do the talking, and overall I thought it was well played out and put together. The second song that I chose was Donald Runickel's Conductor, the orchestra and choir of the Deutsche Opera Berlin. And that's actually an event that has become established in Berlin's culture and social calendar. And in that particular edition, the choir and the orchestra of the Duet Opera Berlin, under the baton of internationally acclaimed conductor Donald Runix, welcomed some of the world's leading opera artists, both talented newcomers and established artists. And I just chose this video because it was the opposite of the first video. It provides multiple instruments in a symphony of tunes for the listener to conform to. This song was very well played and was actually performed in a large crowd of people. To compare, both songs are from the Romantic period of music and involve different types of emotion in the music. Both songs entertain the listener and provide a history to the listener exposing the Romantic period of music. Most people wouldn't hear this type of music in our time today, but thankfully the internet provides us with lots of examples of people reenacting music from this past. To contrast both videos, one song is simple and it's instructed by one person, leaving the audience with an understanding of what the song is really about. The second song was full of different types of instruments and allowed the listener to get lost in the chaos of noise that was being heard throughout the crowd of people. Both songs provide a different outcome for listeners in different types of settings.